Hi there, it's Emma from Emma's Cards and Paper Crafts. Today I'm doing a quick video with the Stamp Around the World video hop. It's been a while since I've done a hop and it's about time I just got back into the swing of things. It's been a busy summer, but it's not summer anymore, so I've decided to get out some of the Modern Christmas Speciality Designer Series paper because this month's theme is shapes. And as soon as I saw these dies, because I was looking for inspiration, I decided this was a great one for tessellating and doing a nice pattern. So I've picked out 3 of the lovely foiled gold, black and white designer series paper, and I've pre-cut a few pieces. I'm not sure if I'm going to need some more, and I've got myself some black and white card. I'm feeling like doing a black card base. I'm really winging this, to be honest. Black card base with white layer, pattern on the top, and then see where we go from there. I've got a few things that I want to try. I've got a couple of new Christmas things that I've not yet used. So let's cut our card base. So I'm going to do what I would call a normal card base, which is generally just cut your sheet of A4 in half down the middle. Doesn't matter which way, whichever way you cut it, it will always make a card. You can cut this way and it will make your standard card or a landscape card, or you can cut this way and you can either have a tall and skinny card with your like A at the top, or you can have it long and skinny, open landscape ways. So it doesn't matter which way you cut it. We're going to cut it skinny today. So we are going to cut it at 10.5 straight down the middle. So I know that's normally when 10.5 is normally where we score, but it's going to be slightly different today. So we're going to cut at 10.5. So you have a nice long skinny piece like this. And then instead of our cutting at the 14.8 centimetres we normally do, we're actually going to score at the 14.8. So, like so. And then our card base will be like this. Or you can use like this. We're going to use like this today because that's what I'm feeling. We need to cut a couple of white mats. So we're going to cut this at 10 centimetres so we get a 1/2 centimetre border all the way around, and then we're going to cut at 14.3 and then shimmy this one along again and do it 14.3 again. So that gives us a mat for inside and a mat for outside. Trim that out the way. So this is about as far in my head as I've got. I'm gonna have to change my blade soon because it's leaving my paper a little bit fluffy. So what I have got is these pieces here. The reason I want to do my card this way is because my pieces, my baubles that I've picked, are like this. Yes, they got this way. So not sure how many we're going to need or how they're going to fit on the page. If we pop this up like this, this like this, that will come down there like that. Then we've got these ones here. Right, let's move this more central because then the bits we cut off I feel like I wanted the black in the middle, but now I'm starting to like the baubles in the middle. Let's have a look at the rest of the paper. So these are the 3 sheets that I picked originally, but I'm feeling like we might need a 4th one in the mix. So let's get out the rest and see what else we've got. So that's the same as we've already used. So we do have this one. That one's also the same as we've used, and we've got this one here. I feel like I might just cut one out of here just to fill in the gaps here and here and keep it all symmetrical. So let's get my trimmer carefully. And let's just cut off a little strip of this one. And then pop that to the side. Right, I'm going to quickly die cut out one more of these and I'll be back with you in a moment. There we go, so there's that one cut out. And then we're going to stick this one in the centre. I'm going to give a tiny little border in between. And a tiny little border in between. Like so. Don't know whether to go to right to the edge of my white. I think I will because it'll be easier to trim. Like so. Then we are going to have these teeny tiny bits aside, but I do have one more black one that we can cut a tiny little slither off of each side to go in there like so. So I think that's going to work, and then we'll use each end of this one in here. So if we find the centre of this piece, I was looking for my ruler. Do you know what? We're just going to wing it. Let's get some glue and just start sticking things down. So we're just going to eyeball it, stick it in the middle, and then see where we go from there. So I might get my head a little bit a minute just so I can see roughly where I'm putting it. And just get a couple of pieces next to it so that I can make sure that they are also somewhat square as well. So I've got roughly about the same amount. Let's go down a smidge, I think. It looks like I've got about the same amount top and bottom. Let's give that a good firm press down now. So I can't even remember where we had our pieces. I think this one was up here. So we're going to give it a little skinny gap in between. So I'm actually going to put the glue on the card, I think. No, we're just going to go straight on here. I can always add a little bit more glue if I haven't quite put enough on. Nice skinny little border in between. Next up we're going to have this one, and then we need to do the top of this one. Again with a nice little skinny border. Now we know roughly where our glue's got to go. I'm going to put it here and here. Then we can stick these down. And I'm just going to put my thumb in the glue, like I always manage to. That's why we should put glue one thing at a time and not get ahead of ourselves. But we're a tiny bit out. They've got a tiny little corner showing here, so it must be a smidge over to one side. There we go. And then we're going to cut this one in half just roughly, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Just Just give it a quick chop like that. And we only need glue on the very bottom tip of these, like so. There we go. And there we go. This one we're just going to give a quick chop straight down the middle, like so. We're only going to need the tiniest little bits here, but I don't like seeing the white space when I'm doing a pattern like this. So there's that one, and then there's that one, and then we're going to pop that off to the side and let it dry a minute. And then we are going to get out, where is it gone? There it is. This, I've been wanting to use these. I've been wanting to try a few things with them. So what I'm thinking, I've not used these before and it's going to be trial and error with my machine, because I've not used a embossing folder with my machine like this before, and I've just realised I don't know where my other plate is for my machine. It's not in its usual spot. We're just going to have to wing it with some shims. We can use some cardboard shims to do it and it'll be absolutely fine, I know it will. So, let's get the dye. I believe it just sort of sits there. Seems to go that side. Does it go? No, it wouldn't go that side, so it must go this side. But I'm new to this whole game. So, this side is going to be our top side as well, isn't it? So, this is a complete stab in the dark here because I've not done this before. We are going to get basic grey because I don't want it to be too dark black, and I'm going to be brave. Just wipe it all over. I've seen somebody else do this and not sure whether it's going to work and whether I'm even doing it right, but we will soon see. Oh, that was a little bit heavy-handed there. Right. This is where it's going to get fun, because this is where I don't know whether I'm doing it right or not. Drop that on there like that. Then we need another piece of white cardstock, which I didn't get out. 1 second. So there we go, I've cut out a perfect 6x6 piece. Got a bit of dust on it, but we are going to put it in there like that. Oh, that slid. Go like that. And then we're going to run it through the machine and hope for the best. We'll see how this comes out. I'll be back in a second with the results. Well, here's to figuring out whether it worked or not. I run it through a few times, more than I care to tell you. And, well, it has kind of worked. Not quite how I envisioned, but I like it. It's black and white. It goes with the theme. Let's carefully take this out. We'll clean the mess up in a minute. That's what baby wipes are for. So there might be, oh, I'm very, very inky. I'm going to pop and wash my hands quickly. Right, I'm a little less inky. Let's pop some of these out, hopefully. Oh, some of them haven't even cut properly. That's a shame. I'm going to have to really figure out the best sandwich for my die cutting machine, because I don't have a Stampin' Up die cutting machine. I think it's probably about time that I did buy one, because they've embossed lovely. Let me just run it through with just the die again on its own with my normal sandwich, and then hopefully it will cut out properly. So there we go, I've gone through with the die again separately rather than in the sandwich, and yay, they've all cut. I think it's just a case of my machine, I'm gonna have to emboss and then die cut separately, because none of my plates really are just the right combination. So that's all of those. I like the Happy Christmas. And the Merry Christmas. But now you have so many different, or like the Season's Greetings, so many different sentiments all ready to go. You could just do this a couple of times, maybe not with my method, but I do like how it makes it kind of look perfectly imperfect, if you get what I mean. Oh, avalanche. I'm not sure which one to use. I like Season's Greetings. I'll use Happy Christmas though. No, I'm going to go with Merry Christmas, just because I like the outlining better. I think I'm going to go with that one. So I'm going to put all of these in the case with my die, so that next time when I want a sentiment, oh, I've just gone and chucked a couple on the floor. Next time when I want a sentiment, I've got lots already cut, made, ready to go. So pop that off to one side. Now we're going to bring back in our front piece that we've started, and we're going to use our trimmer just to trim off all the edges right up to the white line. So, because I don't know that I stuck mine on perfectly straight, we're going to err on the side of caution. That wasn't bad. That's not bad guesstimate of where to cut. Try and line it up in the gutter again. So I'm just looking for the centre of that black line down through the middle. There we go, it's all those little leftover bits there. Again, try and line it up. I don't really want to cut my bit any smaller, my white bit any smaller. There we go. So there is our card front. And then let's bring our card back in. So I'm just going to go along the edges with a bone folder, just because some of them have raised up slightly. I'm going to get a pair of scissors just to trim a little bit just here where it's a little bit fluffy. Definitely new blade incoming after this video. I have been cutting an awful lot of cardstock lately though. Started on the prep for the Cubs Christmas crafting. So there we go, that's that. Let's get some glue on it. Let's make sure we are hanging our baubles up the correct way, because it would drive me nuts if I managed to put my baubles upside down, like so. Didn't quite manage to get all the fluffies, but it's beautifully handmade is what we're going to go with. And then we want some dimensionals for our sentiment. And then just using the edges. I always cut up my edges. Never waste dimensionals. And then we've got one teeny tiny mini one just there, which will fit perfectly just there like so. There we go. And pop our sentiment in the middle just like so. Rub it straight in the bin. And then we're going to add our inside layer. And I've put my glue somewhere right in front of me. Of course it's right in front of me. Like so. Gonna pop that right inside. I feel bad about some of these scraps, so maybe we can use some of them up and make a little border along the bottom of our card. Yep, we've only got one bauble one that's up the right way. So there we go. 3 of them fit perfectly across the bottom, or we could do, take that one out, 1 at the top in the centre, 2 in the bottom, and then just save some of our little scraps from going in the bin, because this DSP is too beautiful to throw away. I am a sucker for foiled designer series paper. So I'm going to go right up to the corner here, like so. And then again, right up to the corner. And this one here, we're gonna wing it and stick it somewhere in the centre and just hope that it's central. There we go. There we have it. That is my card for the Stamp Around the World Shaped Theme video hop. I hope you've enjoyed watching my unplanned, very messy tutorial on how not to do a lot of things. But I will see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.